Hello, everyone. My name is Mariel Brown, and I'm the interim executive director of FILMCO. And FILMCO is organizing and managing this year's Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival, which also happens to be our 15th anniversary festival. So it's a huge year, COVID-19 notwithstanding. Thanks so much for joining us for our first ever virtual press conference. Well, these are the times in which we're currently living, right? So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how the film festival has been responding to COVID. When COVID struck, we responded quickly with a free online streaming series of film festival favorites from over 14 years of film festivals, right? And that was called Watch a Movie on Us. It was a free online streaming series that was beamed all over the Caribbean. We screened over 22 films to over 30,000 people around the Caribbean. And what was really exciting about that was that it told us that actually if it became necessary to hold our film festival online, we could do it. We could find a way, we could reach our audiences, we could celebrate the best Caribbean films and filmmakers in 2020, and we could connect with our audiences. And so that's what we're doing this year. This year we are putting on, I think we are the first Caribbean film festival to engage in an online film festival in this way. And I think that's something for us to be really proud of. We're a little Trinidad and Tobago based organization with a tiny staff, but very committed staff. And we try to respond with creativity and flexibility to the ongoing COVID crisis. So for this year's festival, we received over 350 submissions from all over the world. We've accepted 130 films across a number of categories. And this year we also launched a new category for submissions and prizes called student films. And that's because over the years we've been programming lots of films from student filmmakers, especially from UE filmmakers who are going through the UE film program. But they weren't able to get the kind of attention and visibility they needed because they were basically competing against far more established filmmakers. So now they're competing against each other, their fellow filmmakers, their fellow student filmmakers for the Best Student Film Prize. And we hope you'll find a way to really engage with the student films and really cheer them on. They're young filmmakers, they're emerging talent, and this will likely be their first ever film festival, right? So during this year's festival, we'll have 19 world premieres. We have 14 Caribbean feature-length films. Those are both documentaries and narrative films. And we also have 26 student films, along with so many other films. We're also bringing back the new media experimental film category. And just for your information, the new media category will actually be the only screenings that are happening in person. And that's more because you engage with experimental film in the way that you would engage with a film, with an art exhibition. And so the physical iteration of the new media works is going to be taking place at Medilla Art Gallery all week long during our film festival, which starts on the 9th of September. And we'll be following all government guidance, etc., wearing masks, using hand sanitizer, making sure no more than 5 people gather in the exhibition space at any one time. We'll also be bringing back the youth jury, thanks to our facilitator and longtime festival supporter, BC Pearies, who this year is also acting as a programmer in the festival. And he's added a wonderful dimension to our programming discussions and quite a bit of humor and delight. We're really, really proud to have put together some incredibly strong juries for our competitions. And these are esteemed and award-winning filmmakers and film administrators from around the world. And we are so thankful for their time and energy and contributions in terms of reviewing the films, giving feedback, having thoughtful conversations about the art of filmmaking, and helping to encourage the development of film in our region. So, as you know, this year, all our films are going to be online. It's an online film festival. Our films and our industry events are going to be online. There is a slim chance that we'll be able to have a few physical screenings at Movietown, but that is entirely dependent on government regulations, and we are in ongoing discussions with Movietown about that. So what we know for sure is that 130 films are going to be screened online from the 9th to the 15th of September at ttfilmfestival.com. So how it's going to work is, and my colleague Shaun, our wonderful webmaster, who has been working really hard this year to bring the festival online for you guys, is going to go through the nitty-gritty of how it's going to work. But I just want to say that every day of the festival, we will be premiering new films, and films will be available for 24 hours from the day of premiere. So you'll have 24 hours within that day to watch the films that are showing on that day. So as to tickets, you can purchase tickets for all the films and for all our workshops at ttfilmfestival.com. And we encourage you to also organize your tickets as quickly as possible for our opening night event, which is where we are going to have the Caribbean premiere of 501 Not Out, which you'll hear a little bit more about later, but which is obviously about the extraordinary record-breaking innings of one of our sons of the soil, Brian Charles Lara. Okay, so as I said, all tickets for films and workshops can be paid for from today online. We can also receive payments via online bank transfer and in our office. So feel free to give us a call or send us an email if you'd like to arrange bank transfers or to pay in the office. We've also done printed guides. Now, I should say that the printed guides are, obviously, we cannot plan for every COVID contingency, so we do encourage you, do collect your souvenir keepsake copy of the printed guides. They are available in our office in Belmont. We're also distributing to lots of venues around. At the moment, we've got them in Medulla Art Gallery, we've got them in Paper Based, in Y Art Gallery, and lots of other venues. But we do encourage you to make sure you check the website every day to make sure that, just to double check the venue of the event that you would like to participate in, right? As I say, what we know for sure is that all the films are going to be showing online. You can also download a PDF of our film festival guide at ttfilmfestival.com, and you can scroll through our film index at ttfilmfestival.com to learn all about the specific films and their directors and to read the synopses, etc. So start making your lists of all the movies you want to see, because our programmers have found and programmed some really exceptional films this year. And finally, for my bit, I would like to especially thank our sponsors and partners for their absolutely crucial support in this most challenging of years. I'd like to thank the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts. I'd like to thank Shell Trinidad & Tobago Limited, and I'd like to thank Republic Bank for standing by us. This is not an easy year for anyone, and your support means more to us than we could ever express. At this time, I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of the Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, Senator the Honourable Randall Mitchell. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Okay, so now take a minute to watch our film festival trailer, which our tech coordinator, Soraya, is going to play now. Hi, thank you so much for playing that trailer for us, Soraya. And that's a total in-house edit, which we're so excited for. So I'd like to introduce our film festival programmers, two of our film festival programmers this year. Dr. Bruce Paddington, the founder of the Trinidad+Tobago Film Festival, and Danielle Dieffenthaller, a co-founder of FILMCO and also one of our programmers for this year's festival. They're going to be introducing lots of the films that you should be looking out for this year. So take it away, guys.
Hi, morning, everyone. As Mariel said, I'm Danielle. And as Mariel also said, we have over 120 films for you to see. So what we're going to introduce to you now is just a subsection of the films and some of the standouts that you're going to see online at this festival. One of the standouts in the documentary section is one called I Don't Call It Ghetto by Miguel Galofré. And it's a humanizing story of what we call hotspots in Trinidad, of a young single divorced mother of three who's also a police officer living in a hotspot, bringing up three boys who are the center of her universe. And this documentary puts a humanizing lens onto this woman's life and her life as a police officer, bringing up three boys in a so-called hotspot. So it's not to be missed. It's called I Don't Call It Ghetto, don't miss. The other one is called, short drama by Akel Charles. It's called Get Free. It's about a 21-year-old's life who's in danger as her ex wants to get some unwanted closure. And it's about basically domestic violence and violence against women in the 21st century, because as this ex tries to get closure, she is live tweeting basically, which is a very 21st century thing. So you're seeing this woman's almost demise, but we don't know. You have to look at the show to see what happens at the end. So that's called Get Free. We have a lot of films from the French-speaking Caribbean. And for me, one of the standouts, again, another film that puts a humanizing lens on so-called bad boys, gangsters, called Your Kid. And it's a boy, it starts off with this guy, clearly, part of a gang being chased by armed gunmen running all over the place. And he's running away from them. And next thing you know, there's a baby on his doorstep. And he now has to find who clearly the person thinks is his. And he now tries to find the mother of this baby. And the end is really lovely. So again, look at it. Your Kid, it's French from, I think it's Guadeloupe. And the director of that one is called Nelson Foy. Again, we have an array of films from around the region, including South America. One called Paris is Here. It's set in French Guiana, which I absolutely love because it's a completely different landscape to the Caribbean. It's about a young boy called Georges who lived in his little introverted life and then fell in love with this woman called Giselle, who only dreams of going to Paris. And all Georges wants to do is get her to Paris. And the little mission that he has is worth looking at. So please look at it. It's set in French Guiana, so again, a completely different landscape to anything in the Caribbean, which is a great departure from us. And Bruce, what have you got?
Some clips. I think we're gonna.
We're gonna do some clips of these the films I just mentioned.
Onika's life could have taken a very different path. Born in a hotspot area to a humble family of 9 children, she watched her mother die too soon and buried a teen brother who died in gang warfare. But her difficult past only made her stronger and lit a fire in her to reach for a different life, to make a difference, no matter what it took. When Onika goes to work, she prays to return home safely to her 3 children. Unlike most mothers, in her job there is a great risk involved, but it has never kept her from her hope to do right for her community and to restore confidence in the uniform she wears as a policewoman. Her uniform gives her authority, But it is easy for the public to forget that behind every badge is a human being with their own struggles, fears, and hopes. She must also battle against the negative perceptions and stigma that comes with her job. Wanting to be part of the solution and not the problem, Onika tries to build a bridge of trust between the police and the community.
No, he wouldn't be coming around here. I took out a restraining order against him last week, remember?
You have a responsibility to determine who you associate with.
And I didn't see him since.
I'm not in your bedroom, I'm not in your choice of men.
Nobody knows, nobody cares, but I do, but I do. Nobody sees, nobody hears, but I do, but I do. Looking in the mirror like, hey, sweets, I like your figure. Looking in the mirror like, sweets, I like your figure. You fought to find yourself, you fought to love yourself. So now you know your worth and you got knowledge of yourself.
Tu as une seule boucle d'oreille?
Oui, j'ai perdu l'autre.
C'est joli.
Elle est plus belle en vrai.
De quoi?
Ben, la tour Eiffel.
Tu es déjà allé à Paris?
Non, mon frère habite là-bas.
Une bicyclette ça?
Je sais pas. J'ai vu un monsieur devant la barrière tout à l'heure.
Oh, l'autre là, n'importe là.
We're showing films from the English, the French, the Dutch, the Spanish, Caribbean. We're showing films from the Caribbean diaspora. We also have a section called Panorama, which allows us to show some world cinema films as well. And you're going to be very pleased with the eclectic nature of the films we're going to show. I'm starting talking about COVID Chronicles by Tracy Hutchins. This was filmed during the 2 weeks of the lockdown in March. And unfortunately, it is still a very apt film. It was shot using iPhone, Zoom, Skype. You would think it would be a very sad film, but there's some humor as well. So don't miss COVID Chronicles. Next, a very different film. This one is from Haiti and the Dominican Republic. These two countries have been fighting for many, many years. And DR is quite rich compared to Haiti, and a lot of Haitian refugees go across to Dominican Republic looking for work. Malpaso, directed by Hector Valdez, is about two twin brothers, and one of them is an albino, and they confront many problems as they try to survive setting coals. A very powerful film, one that is not to be missed. Next, we have a look at a panorama film, Miracle Fishing, by Miles Hargrove. He's an American, but the filming was done in Colombia. And it's a true story of the kidnapping in Colombia of an American journalist, Tom Hargrove. His son kept a video diary of the event. And we see the negotiations. It's a very tense film. It's going to be a very popular film because of its subject matter and the way it's being done. A very different film from Trinidad and Tobago is Jump by Shari Petty, who is a young, promising, upcoming filmmaker who made a documentary about a 3-month popular theatre workshop for young people using foreign and local trainers. It was filmed mainly in the black box space in Woodbrook. The last one I'm going to speak about right now is No Place Like Home by Perry Hensel. Perry Hensel, who directed the classic film The Harder They Come, after he had finished that, he started work on a new film called No Place Like Home. It also stars Carl Bradshaw, has a tremendous reggae soundtrack, and a cameo performance by the young Grace Jones.
My chest is kind of tight.
At 2:45 today, we got confirmation of our first case of coronavirus from CARFA.
Instructing that gatherings beyond 25 be avoided at all costs. And I urge all our people to act responsibly and not spread false information and attempt to create mischief.
All of us are working with 14 days. We are hoping.
First of all, the information that you have, you should not have had.
At the end of the day, it is going to be the police, with the assistance and support of the defense force, who are going to be policing this, who are going to be ensuring that we abide by this.
Recommend the use of hand washing and what we have been saying all along, sanitizing your hands.
Schools and places of learning will remain. You see the lining and the congregating. The police will enforce from Sunday night, stay home.
¿Te dormiste? Porque me haga la historia. Mañana. Por favor. Está bien. Había una vez un hombre que se enamoró de la luna, pero también estaba enamorado de la noche. El hombre bajaba a la orilla de la mar y le hablaba a los reflejos. La mar se enamoró del hombre y lo quiso sorprender con un hijo blanco, así como tú, y un hijo negro, así como yo. Y así fue que nacimos de la misma madre. Pero nuestro padre nunca apareció. Y desde ese día, la mar se quedó esperando a que nuestro padre volviera. Dios, hijo de la luna y la noche. Tú sabes que yo creo que me soñé con él. ¿Con quién? Con papá, el hombre de cuento que viene a buscarnos. Papá, pero tú ni sabes cómo él se ve.
Come on, Hoover. It's 5:20, and we're still waiting for instructions as to where we can get a drop map from them before we can send the money out. In case anybody's listening to our phones, David's come up with a plan where when they contact us, we're going to give them a number of our friend Helga, who then will pass on a number to David's apartment, where David and Robert are going to be waiting to take further instructions. David calls it a three-way switch. It's a little complicated.
Okay, it's now about 7 o'clock. Peter and Dina and I are on our way to Helga's house. There's been a real screw-up. The guerrillas called Helga how many times?
Twice.
So Helga now has our drop instructions. This is great, the poor woman.
The only thing that's missing is having thanks.
Shut up, Peter. Knock on wood. We're approaching Helga's house. We'll find out the information in just a matter of minutes. Okay, Dina, explain to me what they just told you.
Okay, they told us that we should drive to Goose on the Quinta.
Yeah.
That's like Presto. And we should go to the man bathroom and look there in the, what's the sanitario?
In the toilet, the men's toilet stall.
In the men's toilet.
Let's make our way to stage, please. Thank you.
Just come and make a circle, guys.
We're here to find out what your story is and find a way that we're able to tell it through parkour, physical expression, and just storytelling. So tonight, we're just going to experiment with some parkour, with some movement, and we'll touch on bits of storytelling as well.
So we started the Jump programme and productions in Glasgow and in Fife in Scotland, communities that were hard to reach. And it went really, really well. And the British Council heard about it and invited us to do it in downtown Jamaica. And it worked brilliantly there. So we were invited to just scope out if it could work in Trinidad, because Trinidad's very different from Jamaica in lots of different ways.
I don't know what kind of man he is. He's a taxi driver. He seems, well, he's about 6 feet tall.
Yeah, listen. Most heaven, West Jamaica.
Jeff, now you let me have a couple of days. If I'm not back in New York, I'm not even call the embassy. Okay, let him go out and beat the bushes for me. It's a civilized country. I'll be fine.
Young and then the mountain, blowing like a breeze from the road.
So you gave up the idea of being famous?
Then I really became famous.
How famous?
Well, in the grill, I'm very famous, you know. Yes. All them guys from all about the place come down. They go to the bar, they hug you, you know. Come get themselves a little bit of fun.
Wait, I say, and the Lord be of good courage, and he will strengthen thy heart. All day that upright heart. So let the word of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Jah.
Great. Some of the eclectic films that we have for you in this festival. And another one, we have quite a few from the diaspora in Canada, mostly dealing with race relations in Canada, as well as other topics. But this one is a comedy narrative called Zine. And I'm sure this name is a setup and fake, but I'm going to say it anyways. It up, I know it. It's called by Calix Pasaileg, and I'm sure it is as made up as his film. The film is about Chad, who's a pretentious white Jamaican director and a ragtag Caribbean crew wanting to shoot a highbrow social drama called Brothers in Babylon. And it is hilarious because Chad is completely clueless. And it also deals with some serious topics like white privilege, race relations in Canada, and Chad's very clueless approach to life. But you must see it, it's hilarious. Zine, it's called. Again, from the French-speaking Caribbean, Madame aux Camellias by Edouard Montou. It's about Patrice, who's a black actor in his 40s, goes powdered and dressed as a 19th century courtesan, to get a part in a new version of adaptation of Camille, Lady of the Camellias. Of course, he's up against a bunch of young, pretty contenders, and poor Patrice has a very hard time legitimizing his presence, but he is reticent and he's going to stick to the end. So you got to see Patrice's journey in Madame aux Camellias. From Trinidad, there's a drama called Red Code by Joel Morris. It's about two detectives who have to fight for their lives while just on a job, supposedly retrieving a case. But it turns out that they're running for their lives and they're also thwarting a human trafficking ring that's about to be set up in Trinidad. It's well done, good, thrilling, fun. Well, not really fun, it's a very serious topic, but it's a good thriller. Code Red by Joel Morris. And Unbroken from Jamaica by Gabrielle Blackwood, a beautifully, sensitively shot film about a Jamaican amputee who defies all odds to qualify for the Jamaican rowing team. Again, a beautifully shot film, a must-see. Soraya is going to play some clips and you're going to get a glimpse of these films.
It's one word. That's what it is. Diversity. 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 It's artisanal tea, by the way. So, our film, Brothers in Babylon, is a neo-realist drama about two brothers, one black and one white, who are ripped apart by the tides of modern life. My family is from Jamaica. You're basically taking on the spirit of the entire islands with this performance, right?
He doesn't know what's right from wrong in the culture. Ah! Listen, man, he's using this.
Je t'ai dit que j'ai pas le temps pour ça, Jocelyne. Non, j'ai vu aucune star avec moi. Attends. Il y a quelqu'un là dans la salle, je crois que c'est une femme, mais bon, c'est... Je vais pouvoir faire mon ménage maintenant, là. Hein? Oh. C'est pas Catherine Deneuve, ça, c'est sûr.
Je vous ai dit que c'était pas possible aujourd'hui. Maintenant, c'est trop tard et alors là, Selena n'est vraiment pas d'humeur.
Bonsoir, Selena Meyer. L'audition est terminée pour aujourd'hui, mademoiselle. Faudra revenir. Vous êtes chez qui?
Alors, je n'ai pas encore d'agent.
Oula.
Mais j'ai lu tout Dumas. Je connais la pièce, je joue au théâtre. J'ai attendu ici toute la journée que vous ayez un créneau. Et je me suis dit que vous pourriez peut-être m'accorder quelques minutes.
Alors, ce serait avec plaisir, monsieur...
Patrice.
Patrice. Malheureusement, Patrice, je suis attendue ailleurs et déjà très en retard.
Quelques secondes suffiront.
Evening. I have some dashing here. Give me a sale now. I want to get a sale and some dashing.
Ah, we don't want that though, right?
No, we dashing
hey, go from here,
cooking.
boy.
We dashing cooking. You know, I give me a little sale now, boy. The thing cooking good, boy. That's it, man. I want to say the thing cooking good. I'm telling you. Give me a sale.
The only sale I'm interested in is 9 shots.
You don't have to go through this big man. You don't have to go through this.
But I'll shoot you. Drop it.
man, don't let me go down this road. Don't let me go, have to go down this road. Nah, let me end this here, no!
After they amputated the leg, it felt pretty strange. I knew I had to accept it because the leg wouldn't grow back, so. For me, working for myself wouldn't be the same because I don't like asking people for help. And I don't really see myself as a disabled person because, again, disability means that you're not able to do something. I see myself as somebody very much capable and able of doing almost anything.
I still don't think this makes me a great cricketer. I'm still just 24 and got a lot of cricket ahead of me. You know, hopefully when I get to a ripe old age, then I can be talked about as a great cricketer.
That is a magnificent shot.
It was that sort of Caribbean influence in Brian Lara's batting that made him an extravagant, explosive player.
Teams hardly can score 500, let alone one single man.
It's just a pleasure to watch. I mean, he's an unbelievable batsman. He's the best player that I've ever seen.
He was a pioneer of everything, the way he hit the ball, the way he timed the ball.
I loved watching him on TV. He wasn't much fun to bowl to.
Well, he was phenomenal. Brian Lara was one of the greatest players I've ever seen, one of the greatest players ever walked on the planet.
The West Indian batsman Brian Lara has rewritten the record books yet again, this time with the highest innings in first-class cricket.
Somebody scoring 501 in an innings, it's unheard of. No other man could have done it than Brian.
497, Lara swings at that, through the covers for 4, the cheers from the Warwickshire supporters. Lara's bat in the air.
What a player. This guy arrived and I just never seen anyone make batting look so easy.
You're here for one reason, aren't you?
Yep, absolutely.
What is it?
So Lara made the world record.
Quick word, BBC Television, tell us why you're here. 439, that's it. Want to say something else?
No, just carry on, sir.
I remember running on and sort of following you and sort of not really knowing what to do with myself once I've got to Lara.
You just wanted to be part of the moment.
And yeah, when he first came to bat, he was very small, a large afro. He was just slightly above his thumbs.
He came from being Brian Lara, the test batsman, to Brian Lara, probably one of the greatest batsmen in the world, you know, in the space of a month.
You know, we can look to him as a leader.
The immediate sort of birth, if you like, of a genuine sporting superstar.
And he was a superstar. He looked the superstar, you know, he was cool, how he moved. You know, he just knew this guy was something special.
"501 Not Out" is a feature documentary on the legendary Brian Charles Lara, my childhood hero and for me the greatest cricketer that's ever lived. I'm so thrilled that the film's going to be opening the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. It's beyond my wildest dreams. The film itself celebrates Lara's development in Trinidad and Tobago right through to his time at Warwickshire in their treble-winning season in 1994. It charts that period from his 375 for the West Indies through to his first-class world record, and for me it's just an incredible story that's never been told before. It features some incredible archive, some great contributions from some iconic names in the world of cricket, and a brilliant soundtrack as well. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much.
Hi everybody, thank you so much, Sam Lockyer. It's a real pleasure to be able to screen your film as our opening night film this year, 501 Not Out, about the inimitable Brian Charles Lara. Just to remind you that tickets are available. It is an online event, but you do need to purchase tickets in advance of the event, and they are available at ttfilmfestival.com. So don't miss this opportunity to watch a film that's just going to make you feel fantastic and to relive the excitement of that moment and to remember some of the gifted people who have come from Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about our industry events because our education coordinator, Catherine Emmanuel, has been called away on a family emergency. So just to say that, as usual, the Film Festival has a full slate of industry events. They're all going to be taking place online, and all the online industry events are being brought to you in part by Shell Trinidad and Tobago Limited. So the online events are going to be either split between Facebook Live and Zoom. Workshops, which people will pay for, they are ticketed events, will be taking place via Zoom. Panels and presentations and talks will take place via Facebook Live, and they are free for anybody to attend. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of a kind of soupçon of the highlights. So we have our first ever masterclass happening this year. It will start the week of the film festival, so from the Monday of the film festival. It's a 5-day masterclass with Lee Thomas, a UK-based producer who has done a lot, worked extensively in television, and whose film The Last Tree is also going to be showing this year at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. He's just wrapped production and post-production on a television series for HBO that's going to be coming on stream soon. So he's the great thing about Lee is he has enormous knowledge, both as a producer for television and as a film producer. He's worked as a film commissioner and a funder and as a university lecturer in film. So he can really look at the question of creative producing in the round. And I think participants are going to be super lucky to be able to pick his brain because he's just really, really knowledgeable about all areas of film producing. So again, tickets for that can be bought online, and we do have payment plans available for anybody who needs them. We also are offering Edit Your Trailer Like a Pro workshop with our own Ryan Can. Trailer editing is one of the trickiest things, and I think it's one of the things that most filmmakers leave for the very, very last, and they think the least about it. Yet it is the thing that opens the door to the cinema for you and opens the door to audiences for you. And so we felt it was important to highlight the processes involved in editing a really good trailer. And so Ryan is going to be offering that workshop online. Then we have the brilliant Gabrielle Blackwood from Jamaica, a female DP whose work I've been following for a very long time. She's going to be doing a fun session called The Role of the DP, for those who don't know, director of photography. And then another event we'll be having for the very first time is our first TTFF talk. And this is super exciting for us because we will be welcoming Academy Award-winning documentary director Orlando von Einsiedel. Orlando directed the Academy Award-winning documentary short White Helmets, which you can watch on Netflix. And he also directed the Academy Award-nominated film Varonga, which can also be seen on Netflix. And it's a real honor and a pleasure for us to be able to chat to him via Facebook Live, again, to pick his brain, to learn about his process, to learn about what excites him, and to learn about the art of documentary filmmaking, with a particular emphasis on social justice documentaries. So those are some of our brilliant online events. We do encourage you to visit ttfilmfestival.com to get a really clear overview of all the events we'll be having, as well as to be able to register for and pay for workshops and the panels and presentations. Just to remember that you can pay for your workshops via the TTFF portal, you can do via online bank transfer, or you can do by coming into the office and paying in person. It's totally up to you. Okay, so as we said, this is our first ever online film festival, and we are aware that this is going to be a challenge for some people to kind of make the shift. And so we're going to try and help you along as much as the process as you can. The great thing is that you can watch in the comfort and safety of your home. And you can watch any time during the 24-hour period that the film will be shown. And I wanted to introduce our brilliant web developer who has been working tirelessly to get the online festival ready for you. We have all been working tirelessly. His name is Shaun Rambaran, and he is going to talk you through a little bit of the process about how you'll access the films online.
Hi, yeah, this is the screen that you'll be greeted with. If you're logged in, you'll see your name here, but if not, simply click to create an account on the top right-hand side of the screen. You'll fill in your information. Upon doing so, you'll receive a confirmation email. Once you're signed in, choose whichever film you would like to see. We have several film bundles available. Hover over the bundle that you'd like to use, click on Rent, and you'll then be prompted, once you're logged in, you'll be prompted to enter your credit card information at this point. Please note all prices are quoted in US dollars, and if you don't have a credit card, we do have alternative payment options. You can pay cash in the office, or we also do online bank transfers. So for more details about that, please email hello@ttfilmfestival.com, hello@ttfilmfestival.com, or you could call the office number 323-3228 for more information about that. So thanks very much.
Renting a film through the film festival is almost exactly like basically do on Netflix or Amazon.com. It's just like you're making a purchase and you set up an account, and that's how you watch films and that's how you buy your tickets, okay? And of course, we'll be there to help you. So just give us a call if you're having any trouble setting up, or if you're having any trouble with tickets, or if you're confused at all. And we're going to do a couple little videos to promote via social media to help people understand. So it's going to be a super easy process, and we really encourage you to engage with the website. Look through all the film bundles, because every day we have several packages of films that people can watch. Some of them have one feature, some of them have several shorts, some of them have a few medium-length films. And so in there will be the films that you want to see. And so do take a minute and take a look at our beautiful site and explore, and shoot us an email or send us a quick call if you have any questions about how to engage with the site. But we try to make it as intuitive and as easy as possible. And we've worked with a provider and contractor in New Zealand who specializes in doing these online film festivals. So hopefully you'll be able to engage and to watch all the films online without too much difficulty. Okay, so, and also just to say that that is also where our opening night event is going to be happening, okay? All right. So in terms of what's coming next, I would like to invite the Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts to say a few words now. So welcome, Senator, the Honourable Randall Mitchell.
Hello. Thank you very much, Mariel, Interim Executive Director at FILMCO. And thank you for having us Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts here at this press conference, this launch of the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. Let me start off by recognizing Mr. Bruce Paddington, founder, Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival, Ms. Danielle Dieffenthaller, Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival programmer. Well, Ms. Catherine Emmanuel had an emergency, but we acknowledge her in her absence. Mr. Shaun Rambaran, Mr. Sam Lockyer, film director of 501 Not Out, members of the media, and to all our viewers on the various social media platform tuned in. A very, very good morning to you all, and thanks for having us. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to place some comments on the record. I am the only government official in the room, so among a bunch of creatives, I may be a little bland, but I'll try not to be, but I still have to put these comments on the record. So this response to the COVID-19 pandemic could be viewed as a masterclass in resilience by the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. All sectors, including agriculture, hospitality, commerce, and trade, have pivoted to remain competitive during our unique circumstances that we find ourselves in. Tourism, culture, and the arts are no different. Many of our stakeholders have transitioned into offering their services in the digital space, from virtual concerts and literary sessions to extempo challenges, introduction to delivery apps and online ordering services across the food and beverage industry, and an explosion of online culinary expeditions as well. The film community has also had an active digital presence through its social media engagements, and we must all adapt to this new reality. Hosting the 16th edition of the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival in the virtual space is an excellent initiative. For several reasons, it ensures that audiences remain connected to our creative genius and those stories that tell of our Trinbagonian experience. It positions Trinidad and Tobago as a key film hub in the Caribbean and perhaps across the Americas. On unique cultural genetics and array of biodiversity rivals any other in the world, thus presenting valuable investment opportunities for filmmakers to select this country as their filmmaking destination. To propel this vision, the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and the Arts bolsters the expertise of the local film industry through the Culture and Creative Arts Fund. These grants aim to promote the creation, development, and sustainability of Trinidad and Tobago, culture, art forms, and expression through the performing arts, which includes film. The fund is accessible to community groups, arts and cultural organizations, and non-governmental organizations, community groups, faith-based organizations, artists, and cultural workers, the individuals. Over the past 4 years, the Film Festival has been a recipient of this grant and has demonstrated a solid commitment to launching pioneering projects in film. With an annual investment of approximately $350,000, the Film Festival has delivered numerous outputs, including this annual Film Festival, workshops, and more recently in 2019, Film Festival, the Carifesta edition. During this mega cultural festival, the Film Festival hosted 2 days of industry-specific events focused on greater regional collaboration and co-productions, exploring additional film financing streams, successful marketing strategies, and specific niche areas, including film copywriting, contracts, and more. It is at this festival that 3 recipients of the ministry's Take One Film Call grant premiered their films. These 3 recipients were awarded $250,000 each to produce local feature films of narrative fictional genres. And to recap, these winners were Glenford Kevin Adams with Queen of Soca, Fixer Film Limited on behalf of Jean Hennings with Grace and Salim, which became the People's Choice winner, and Maya Kozia's She Paradise, whose film screenings were sold out, with the film being selected for New York's Tribeca Film Festival. For this year's Film Festival, accessibility is going to be the most important success factor. And I'm happy that Shaun just outlined, how to access the Film Festival. Based on the Film Festival social media and website traffic snapshot for 2019, whereby there were over 129,000 website page views and over 11,000 mobile users during the period July to August 31st, I am convinced that these statistics will grow exponentially as online entertainment is already the new normal. I am keenly interested in the feedback from this year's festival, since it will enable all stakeholders, especially the ministry, to understand the success of digital innovations in the film industry. Today, I extend congratulations to the film fraternity on behalf of the ministry, my predecessors, and of course, the government of Trinidad and Tobago. And I intend to continue to meaningfully engage this industry with innovative ideas and solutions. This merger of tourism with culture and the arts will only strengthen the resources available to filmmakers, whilst enhancing Trinidad and Tobago's overall internal and external brand. As Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts, I foresee limitless possibilities for the creative sector and urge everyone involved to adopt a mindset of productivity and success during this period in our history. I thank you very much, Mariel, Bruce, Danielle, everybody else, for giving me the opportunity for these few comments to put on the record. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sir Minister. Thank you for that wonderful speech. And we look forward to working with your ministry in the coming months and years to continue doing the work of the Film Festival and to continue reaching audiences and encouraging people to come to Trinidad and Tobago. Certainly one of my favorite places in the world.